every animal, or type of animal, views its reality in a different way. The world of a pit viper is very different than the world of a turtle. The world of a turtle is viewed very differently than the world of a crocodile. The world of a crocodile is viewed very differently than the world of a monkey. Until you understand the ethology of every single species that you're working with, it's very hard to achieve that connection.
Good morning, everybody. I'm hanging out here with the Crutchfields. Always fun to pop over for a visit. I'm actually brought Tom the 2 blue iguanas that I've kept, and I'm gonna hand them off to Tom. This is awesome, but right now we're seeing the caiman lizards. This would be another, I would love to get my hands on some of these guys, and if I could tame them up like you guys have, that would be amazing. But the reason they're so tame, look at how you keep them. Look at this. This is incredible. This is, I mean, Tom, you know what?
Tiny.
He's got the plate.
We keep them
Tiny.
so that they can be the creatures they really are.
Right. Absolutely.
That makes sense.
It makes total sense. I think, you know, the cool thing, Tom, is, you know, you've seen this hobby, industry, passion from since you were a boy till now. And, you know, you've seen all aspects of it. You've seen it when you know, in many ways you've written a book on keeping these animals. And I think now that you're an elder statesman, I think one of the cool things about you is here at this phase in your life, it's really about, you know, what can you do for these animals? Look at what you guys have created here on your farm.
It's all about them.
Right.
Not about us.
Right. And I think that's something that I've always tried to impart on you guys out there, that these are a responsibility. I always think of myself as a steward to these animals, you know.
That's perfect.
And, you know, they didn't necessarily ask to be in captivity, but now that they are and they're bred regularly and safely, we can leave animals in the wild,
Yes.
which is incredible.
And we should.
Right. You know, and this is a complete 180. You know, Tom, back in the day, you did.
I was one of the leading importers of animals.
Right.
I'm sorry I ever did.
Wow.
I just did not know and understand the depth of the understanding that they have.
Right. And you know, you can hear in your voice, you get very passionate, and there's some emotion behind that. And I think that's a very cool thing to kind of impart on these people that watch, you know, my videos, because I think everyone out there, we absolutely are just in love with these animals, and it starts from a fascination of maybe looking at a window into the past,
Yes.
of seeing a world before human beings, and we have this ignorance or this hubris as a human being. You know, we always think we're the only ones with a brain, we're the only ones that feel emotion. There's so many more, and just from how many years now with reptiles?
Oh my God, I started at 5 years old.
Yeah.
I'm 75, 70 years.
70 years of knowledge attained, and that's why I love coming here, because he's very generous with his information. But what I was getting on about is we assume that these animals don't have an intellectual, they don't have intellectual faculties or emotional faculties.
Nothing.
And
Farther from the truth.
that's what I think. If you're an animal that's been on Earth, or a group of animals, we'll take reptiles for example, they've been on Earth millions of years more than people.
Yes.
Okay, you don't think they've had the time to, you know, create their own or develop their own kind of emotional responses to things? You don't think that?
I know they do.
Yeah.
And that includes liking or bonding with the keeper, or what we might call love. And most of the animals here really choose to interact with us. When you come up to cages here, animals don't run from you, they come toward you. Not to harm you, but to interact with you.
And that's,
because they feel safe.
yeah, and I think that's,
They're not afraid.
right, that's the mission. And, you know, look, it's the same thing on my little farm as well. It's like, let me create these really cool environments, because number one, the animals benefit.
Right.
Number two, you benefit also.
Yes, of
Isn't it
course.
amazing to come in here? Okay, you get to share space with these animals. Okay, you get to see the beauty. You get to unlock the mysteries of what they're capable of and what they teach us. More importantly.
Oh, they've taught me so much.
Yeah, you know.
Do you know what real success is in herpetoculture? It's when you keep animals, or your reptiles, and they let you view their private lives without trepidation.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It totally makes sense.
When they let you see them being the animals they are, the courtships, that they don't care if you're in the cage with them or not, because you're not any sort of threat.
Thank you to all our loyal Patreon members out there who have helped to create an amazing reptile community online with us.
This week's shout out goes to our longtime supporter, Ed.
Right, and speaking of, like, you know, I just love the fact
to see us.
You've got, you know, free roam rhino
He came
iguana.
to see us, you know.
Yeah, I just watched him walk up. Is this a female or a male?
That's a male.
That's
Yeah.
Roscoe.
That's Roscoe. Okay, good old Roscoe. What's up, buddy? He wants to see what's going on.
You just had breakfast
Well,
too.
yeah, he's eating. He wants a little attention, so he walked over and he gets it. You know?
Like
So
he
why?
always has for 20
Right.
years.
Now, why? What? Here's the thing you got to ask yourself. He's already eaten. He's not coming over here for food.
No.
He's coming over here. He's curious. He wants to know who I am.
You know, if I put food down by him right now with us here, he wouldn't even eat if it was even a treat.
Really?
Because he'd rather be petted.
Look at this. And I love this position. This is a happy rhino iguana position. You got the
Now look at
standing
his-
up, tail down.
And look at his crest.
Yeah. Oh, it's just beautiful. That's just beautiful. And he's just...
Got food between his feet.
Yeah. He's just, you know, he's a regal animal, and you know, that's what I love about coming here, because I think one of the best things you can do as a lover and keeper of these animals is see how other people are keeping them. And it's always nice when you come in and you see someone who's got that passion, who you can learn from. And look at this, you got a rhino iguana here. You've got the caiman lizard still working on his breakfast, and just everyone's at peace and happy, and you know, that's what we're doing today.
If I left this door open, once he gets to eating, the caiman lizard will walk out here.
Really?
And he will climb up our legs
Get out of
to
here.
get on our shoulders so he can walk around the yard.
You know,
It won't run away. It'll
yeah,
jump up.
before we were filming, you had some yellow tree monitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you open the door, and immediately they're coming over to see what's going on.
And they're not even 2 years old.
No.
They're not even a year old.
Doesn't matter. That's what I mean. I think, you know, without getting, you know, you can look at the old legends, or, you know, if you think they're legends, or you just look at the Garden of Eden, right? How everything in the garden had a balance, and man walked in harmony with the animals. I kind of look at that as, hey, it doesn't have to be this whole religious thing. It could have just been something simple that we were connected. Well, I had a battery malfunction. The battery died. But anyway, I was just talking about the fact that we've separated ourselves from what is, you know, the natural world. And I love doing what we do as herpetoculturists, because it's a way to kind of bring the outside in.
It's a connection to
it
the
is,
natural
yeah.
world for me. And with an animal type, I love all kinds of animals. I know a little bit about all kinds
Yes.
of wildlife, but reptiles are the ones that I've studied for my entire life.
I know, and I think that's fantastic. And isn't it funny that, you know, every animal has a mysterious way of communicating, right?
It is.
And I would think reptiles are
They're
the ones.
the hardest to understand,
Yes.
because it really goes back to this, and we've talked about this before, and it goes back to one German ethological word
Right.
called umwelt.
Mm-hmm.
The word umwelt, U-M-W-E-L-T, or in the plural, understanding the umwelten, means to understand the ethology or the behavior, you first must understand how this animal views the world. And umwelt says, or states, that every animal, or type of animal, views its reality in a different way. The world of a pit viper is very different than the world of a turtle. The world of a turtle is viewed very differently than the world of a crocodile. The world of a crocodile is viewed very differently than the world of a monkey. So until you understand the ethology of every single species that you're working with, you know, by understanding the umwelten, it's very hard to achieve that connection.
Yeah.
Some people do this without understanding of what it is that they understand so well. It just comes naturally. They're born like that. I believe not everyone can do it, even with training, because you can't get over the fear of your own self about the animal. The fear of the animal is the biggest thing that prevents you from understanding, interacting, and connecting. Like hand-feeding monitors. People say if you hand-feed monitors, you'll get bit. No, you won't. I've proven it over and over again.
Yeah.
You will get bit every time. If you hold the food, the monitor targets the food, and then at the very last minute, when it opens its mouth to take it, you get scared to do this. It will stop the prey from escaping.
Let's
That's
go
the
have a
accident
look
of a
at,
bite.
you speak of the monitors, and your work with the croc monitors has been just incredible.
Yep, and they're all like that.
Yeah,
Not one or two. They're all different. All of them have different personalities, but all of them have the same basic quality. And if the animal, simply put, if the reptile doesn't want you to do it, don't do it.
Right.
If it moves away, stop what you're doing. If it doesn't move away or comes toward you, you're doing something right. The animal teaches you. You don't even have to teach yourself.
Yeah.
You just have to be smart enough
Well, that's
to listen to the language.
Right, and their language is done mostly with visual cues.
Correct.
So you need to start deciphering those cues.
Look
So
how big Scarface has got.
let's see, where is he? Oh, beautiful.
He's over 9 feet long. That cage is 8 feet wide.
Good grief. Look at that
He's
beautiful
way bigger
animal.
than Bill. Now,
That's
I will tell
incredible.
you, too, he is about as gentle.
Let's
Now,
see.
I just fed him yesterday, so I'm not going to be able to get him to come down.
That's fine. I mean,
But-
just to share space with him is nice.
Oh, he'll love to see it. Scarface.
Look at that.
He was in New Guinea in 2020 wild.
Right, that's what you were saying. That's what's so impressive about
His
this
cage
relationship.
is 8 feet wide. He's 3 meters long. Now look at him.
And you know, not only that, but the trauma of being caught.
Yeah, and he was in terrible shape. But look at him.
Are you kidding me, Tom? That's something, man.
He
I mean,
loves me. He loves people. He's really bonded with me, though.
That's incredible. It's just such a,
Buddy.
you know, that's the honor right there. That's like,
This is the
that
reward.
right, that an animal allows you this level of trust.
An intimate thing.
You know, you think about it, think about how we don't value human trust.
No,
And,
because
you know,
most of them aren't really worthy
of it.
trust
Yeah.
because of how we think and
right,
our Welton is different.
yeah.
But they're a lot more simple than primates are, and certainly human primates. And they're easy to read, easy to deal with, and to be honest with you, every wild caught one we've had turns out the same. If they're kept in a humane way, not scared, don't scare them,
Right.
and let them come to you.
Can I tell you something? When you were talking about how different animals have
Look at
different... Look at that. Are you kidding me? You know, this would be something that people would shudder at.
Of course.
Because, of course, these animals have that reputation. The worst bite of any lizard. Don't get bit.
It is.
And it is.
Of all lizards in the world, including venomous lizards, these have the worst bite, worse than a Gila or a beaded lizard. Even though there's been a couple of fatalities, certainly these could kill you without medical care real quick. You bleed out. But worse than that, their bite is life-changing. I mean, that bite, when I netted the one and it tore out, crippled my finger for life.
Wow.
And she bit me gently.
Wow.
If she
Yeah.
had bit me hard, my finger would be gone.
It's something, yet you still have the respect and passion for them.
It
But,
never stopped.
right, it can't.
I caused it. I would have bit me too.
Yeah, because...
They were fighting. She was fighting with a big male, and I wanted to separate them because both were bloody, and I put a net on her, and she tore her head through the net, and I was sitting there holding the net like this, and she just reached over and bit me.
Gotcha.
warning
Just a
bite.
little warning
A warning
bite. And the thing is that our bodies aren't built for warning bites from them.
No.
And you know, this is what I wanted to get at. You know, he was talking, Tom was talking about how a monkey views its umvelt and so on. It's almost as though these animals are in different dimensions, yet we all share the same space.
They are.
You know what I mean?
They are. Their reality is so different than ours.
Right.
And how they view it. They basically view their reality mostly with their tongue and eyes, but a lot with their tongue. The tongue tells them everything. And that's why if you want a strange reptile and you come up to one, don't ever try to pet it from on the top of the head or side.
Right.
Put your hand in front of it, particularly if it's a squamate reptile, meaning snakes or lizards. Because they need to be able to stick their tongue out just like you would a dog and know who you are. And
Yeah.
and not be afraid. But when they don't know who you are and you try to touch it from the top, every single thing that attacks or kills them gets them from the top usually. Don't do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's also true of understanding what senses are most powerful on the animal.
Correct.
When people get a dog, they make the mistake of thinking it's visual. We are visual animals.
Yeah.
Dogs are what? Nostrils, smell. So you have to kind of approach them from that way, and that's similar
Yep.
to what the monitor lizard's doing, or as you mentioned, snakes and other lizards. But this is just awesome. But it goes even deeper. You mentioned snakes.
Yes.
You have relationships with some snakes that
Yes.
you wouldn't think you could have relationships with.
Yeah.
Is it possible for us to go have a look?
Yeah, what we have more than anything else in relationships, May is dead now, as you know, so
Oh, yeah.
I sadly don't have her, which was a big Maine-shot viper
Yeah.
that literally would have never been
Wow.
a human, but especially me.
That's incredible.
I would open the cage door and she could be at rest, and if I stood there for a few minutes, she would crawl over and climb up on me.
Yeah.
You've seen me hold
I have
her.
seen it. It's just incredible. And,
And and she never bit me.
Right.
She aborted a feeding strike one time all the way in. I was feeding rats, and I wanted to see how far she could strike. She was only about 6 feet long then. And Christine Bielecki was there, in fact. And I put a hook on her neck and put my hand up real quick. It was covered in rat smell. And she struck. Well, I mean, I couldn't avoid it. Went right to my hand, like full speed with the mouth open. Closed her mouth, tongue my hand, and laid her head down on top of my hand.
right. And the last time I was here, you and I did the video with the water moccasin.
Yep.
And
That's just a wild caught snake.
and it was incredible. Just the level you allow it to be curious. You allow it to feel non-threatened, and it is true. It's more difficult for someone for me to trust the animal.
It's fear.
It is. It's overcoming
Fear
your own
is
fear.
the biggest issue that happens and causes the most injuries when dealing with reptiles.
Right.
It's fear from the keeper.
Right.
Also, too, the two of us are having a good time right now, and Stacy is too, the three of us. But if we brought another person in, the energy we're giving off right now is positive, good energy.
Mm-hmm.
But if we brought a person in who was pissed off at the world, within seconds, our energies would change. Not because we feel like that person, but because we're picking up the energy from that person. I believe that all wild things pick up this energy from each other. And I believe that when you're afraid, it makes them afraid.
Right.
Then they become defensive. And then the keeper has a problem.
Gotcha. Well, look at this guy. He's asleep.
Oh, I have absolutely zero
Yeah.
fear of him. He'd never ever harm me in any
He's
way.
asleep.
Hey, buddy.
That's my relationship with Slinky.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's
We let these walk around the yard.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. I mean, I
Like
think it's right. That's amazing. They're beautiful
I have
animals.
videos after videos of Bill walking around the yard.
Yeah, they're beautiful animals. They're
Stacy, go in and film Stacy.
All right, let's go see what Stacy's doing now. We've been here with you, Stacy, before, and this is a special animal that's bonded with you. For whatever reason, he just loves you to death. This is Bill. Hi, Bill. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Now, guys, this is something that, with my own croc monitor, I'm a little more cautious because we're still doing the work, but I'm happy to say things are going well with those animals, and I've been having some really cool breeding stuff going on. Look at this.
Come on. Go.
That's so cool.
Let you take the egg.
And I'm guessing he's going to take that egg gently.
Go grab it.
Come on.
You gonna hand feed him the egg or give it to him in
Gonna try to get him on my lap.
You're gonna have to hold it, honey. You can't even reach it. Honey.
There you go.
Ooh, I see a very loose tooth if you'll let me grab it.
Look at that.
Oh, it's so cool. I'm getting a hug from his tail right here.
Yeah.
He's wrapped his
It's a
prehensile tail right around. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's just one of those things, coming over here, spending time with Tom and Stacy and their animals is really a treat for me because, as we mentioned earlier, Tom's got 70 years of experience with all kinds of reptiles, from chelonians to squamates to crocodilians, and everything in between. It's just awesome to get over here. And you know, Tom, I'm really enjoying this this emotion you have that you're allowing us to see. I think it's a very cool thing. It shows, you know, the true love that you really have for these animals and respect. You know, like I said, you've seen it from the beginning, and you've admitted, you've said, yeah, I wish I didn't do it like that. But in many ways, if those things, in other words, getting some animals from the wild, bringing them here, who knows where these animals would be? Because at the end of the day, keeping captive animals is a rewarding thing.
Yes.
It is a good thing for wild populations. The whole, if you want to call it a hobby, well, for sake of, you know, lack of a better word, we can call it that. But I really am passionate about our privilege and our freedom to be able to continue to work with these animals.
God, yes, me too, because that's how we learn and evolve. It's all about us evolving too.
Right.
We're all evolving.
Correct.
Why don't you put him on the shelf up there so he can get really good pictures of him?
He is just outstanding.
Why should pick him up? Just put him on the shelf like a puppy dog.
That is the, you know, what you guys have attained here with these in particular is basically the, it's the goal. Yeah.
Oop, his tail.
There you go. That's gorgeous, huh? Beautiful animal.
He's only about 8 feet long.
Right. They can get upwards of 10.
Maybe 12.
Yeah, that's just something.
You know how friendly he is, too?
Yeah. Oh, you could grab his tongue?
Yeah. I mean, I don't pull it and hold it, but
That's so funny.
see?
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing, Mom?
But I let him put it back right away, but he doesn't even care.
Oh, he's beautiful. That's really something.
And he was wild caught.
Really?
And he crippled his last owner's hand.
Oh my gosh.
He bit him so bad. He belonged to a friend of mine, and after he got bit, he sold him to me 6 years ago.
Wow.
Interestingly enough, it takes us much longer to train a crocodile monitor that has been kept in captivity in an inhumane way, or I mean a small cage, and by people that are afraid of it, than it does for me to take one straight out of New Guinea. It took us 3 weeks. It took me 3 weeks to train Scarface. It took a year to train Bill.
It's incredible.
But yet now, you let him come inside the house and all kinds of stuff and walk around.
That's amazing, man.
He's curious. Look at the size of his feet.
Yeah, just a beautiful.
Look at that foot on my
Right.
hand. And I don't have tiny hands, and that's a big crocodile.
Yeah,
Monitor.
and these guys, you know, in their native environment, they're living in the canopy. They're, you know, they're truly arboreal. They're
Yep.
basically a tree monitor.
They are.
You know?
You know what they are? It's like an arboreal Komodo dragon. That's what they remind me of.
Yeah, even their head looks similar to a Komodo.
Except it's much thicker. See how wide the head is here?
Yep.
The reason is, look at the teeth. Well,
Well, he had a nice one sticking out, and I think he swallowed it,
Oh,
a loose
okay.
one.
see, he likes to reach in and take the teeth out too when they're loose and that. He
That's
won't do
incredible.
Well, if it's kind of on the side, he'll let me.
Yeah.
I don't stick my hand in the mouth.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, that's
anything. Unless
amazing.
you mess with his tail, he just doesn't
Yeah,
care.
he's super chill. Well, listen,
It's more than a super chill. What
There's
he is,
Monica.
he's bonded.
look at
And
him.
Monica, we didn't raise her, but let me show you something.
Sure.
She's only been here about a year. Monica. Come here, girl.
Only a year.
Hey. Hey. See, when she moves her head back, I stop.
Right.
But before she used to hiss, you look at it there.
And those tongue flicks are just
Oh,
curiosity.
she's just not trying to hurt me at all. I hand feed her.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
She takes it real gently.
But again,
See the scars from her
Yeah.
fighting and biting and stuff?
wow. But again, it's just you are allowing the animal to dictate the nature or the level of comfort.
I'm allowing it to be the animal that it actually believes.
But also, it's respecting their personal space.
And I give it much respect.
Right.
They deserve respect.
It's clear,
Without
man.
respect, you will never achieve any bond with any of them. They're not going to respect us unless they learn to respect us.
This is amazing. But it's really cool to see what is possible between a human primate and a reptile, you know?
Especially one of these.
Right. It's such an honor that they trust you like that.
It's humble.
You know, and that's how I feel with, you know, some of the animals in my home, like that they actually allow me to share their space. I believe they know when we're trying our best, you know? And guys, just again, I love this, just something simple as dripping water through a PVC, okay? Creating a beautiful dappling effect on these pothos plants. This provides cover. I think this is great. The sound, you know, the humidity it puts off, they get in that pool there. This is just, yeah.
Quite often,
yeah. That's really cool.
It's hot, he likes to go in there.
He likes to get in there. Well, I'll tell you what.
He'll be over here to see us. He can't stand it by himself there. Watch it. He'll come over here to the very corner. Watch, I'm going to do it. Predict it. Don't go up there, Steve. I just want to show him what he's going to do. He's going to come over to the corner, or he's going to get down and walk over to us, one of the two. You know why? He wants to be with us. It is his decision, not mine, not Stacy's, and not yours. It's his. It's all his decision. But reptiles do something that I call, when they're thinking about doing something, I call it reptile time lapse. They don't respond instantly like a mammal or a bird might to eating food. They more or less think about it before they do it. So they'll take feet. See what I said?
Yeah.
Watch it. The next step, you'll be down on the ground by our feet. And the next step, if you don't do anything, he'll try to climb up, which is kind of painful.
Yeah,
Although
because their claws are incredibly.
Look at it, coming over the tongue.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I see you, buddy. I see you.
That's awesome.
And I want you to know that I love you a lot. You know that? I do. Look.
Well, friends, I'll tell you what, we have ourselves always the best time coming over here to Tom's place. And what are we learning here? We're learning that these animals demand our respect. They demand more than just a box to live in. So I know that the folks that watch our videos, Tom, will do the right things. They're out there. We're trying to be that next generation of reptile keepers. And it's awesome to see what you've been able to accomplish, man.
See the blood on my hand?
Yep, I do. He don't care because he knows it's your hand.
Yes, he does. They all know.
They know. When I feed Slinky croc chow, gently takes it from my fingertips.
Yes, he will. These do too.
Yeah.
As you've seen.
It's, you know, it's, but when I have a prey item, what do I do with the prey item? And you've told me, I shake the prey item. I make him run for it. You know.
But if you hold it, he'll still
take it gently. Exactly.
Because he understands. You are less likely to be bitten hand feeding one of our crocodile monitors unless you try to snatch the food away at the last moment, then you are hand feeding your dog.
Yeah.
Because their Jacobson organ works so much better than a dog's or a primate's, and that is their primary sensory organ. So their Jacobson's organ, he will target that food. He knows exactly where it is.
It's incredible.
I feed these. Actually, look him put his feet on me. The next step, he's going to be trying to get on my shoulder because that's what he wants. Look how when he put his foot down, he's not engaging his claws.
No, he's not. That's just his weight.
He put the palm of his foot down.
Yeah.
With the weight, and then the claws are on me. But look, when he picks them up, see?
Oh, he's coming to see me
That's
now.
why we don't use gloves. Yes, because he's curious and he likes you.
That's so cool. I think that's, you know,
what a curious boy he is.
Right, he's very curious.
It's not about food at all.
No, he just wants to see what's happening. There's something new in his environment, and he wants to investigate it because what does an organism need to do? It needs to understand its environment, and he wants to understand who this new person is in it.
Yep. But believe it or not, he will remember you from before.
Yeah.
Once he tastes you, they know.
Well,
I see it.
It's incredible,
Every day
right?
I see it.
You ever get a smell that triggers a memory for you?
Yeah. That's what happens to them.
Right. It's more powerful
But imagine
than
the
any
smell
other.
1,000 times more than what
sensitive.
we ever know.
Exactly.
Or see.
Yeah.
That is the
Super
correct
power.
understanding of welcome.
Gotcha.
They remember, but they don't remember necessarily stored in the brain, stored perhaps in the Jacobson organ that then is transferred to the brain.
Gotcha.
Then they remember.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, there you have it, man. I hope you enjoyed this video talking about reptile psychology. It's always fun to come to a PhD of reptile behavior. Anyhow, folks, don't forget to like and subscribe. And you know what? There'll probably be a couple more videos from my visit here today at Tom's. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoyed meeting Bill, the Cayman lizards, and Roscoe as well. I'll talk to you guys soon. And as always, please be good to your animals, and we'll see you soon.